kita. Sasamahan kita.
Mimithing inaasang pangarap na walang hanggan. Bawat ngiti nagniningning, magsisilbing liwanag sa dilim. Natatanaw mo ba? Maaabot mo ba? Tanong sa bawat bukas, masasagot mo na. Mahaba man ang daan, madami man niyang hadlang, huwag kang mag-alala, sasamahan kita. Buksan ang kinabukasan, tuklasin ang kayamanan ng puso nangangarap. Bawat hakbang patungo sa pangarap. 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 Malinaw na ang paraan, kalimutan na nakaraan. Ayusin natin ang daan, anuman ang humadlang. Gamitin ang iyong lakas para maiangat ang iyong antas. Mula sa baba, ngayon nasa taas. Kinang ng puso iyong ilabas. Kami aalalay iyong kaagapay. Sa bawat hakbang meron ka ng karamay. Hanggang sa tagumpay, ika'y magtatagumpay. Ang imposible ay kaya, basta't sama-sama. Kaya huwag mag-alala, sasamahan kita. Buksan ang kinabukasan, tuklasin ang kayamanan ng puso lumalaban. Bawat hakbang patungo sa pangarap. 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 Sasamahan kita, huwag kang mag-alala. Sasamahan kita, di ka na mawawala. Sasamahan kita, meron ka ng kasangga. Sasamahan kita, di ka na mag-iisa. Sasamahan kita, huwag kang mag-alala. Sasamahan kita, di ka na mawawala. Sasamahan kita, meron ka ng kasangga. Sasamahan kita, di ka na mag-iisa. Buksan ang kinabukasan, tuklasin ang kayamanan ng puso lumalaban. Bawat hakbang patungo sa pangarap. Buksan ang kinabukasan, tuklasin ang kayamanan ng puso lumalaban. Bawat hakbang patungo sa pangarap. 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 Sasamahan kita.
There are 3 easy steps in creating your resume link. Let me show you how.
Step 1. Register. Go to www.jobs180.com using any browser. and click Register Now. Fill out all the information needed. In choosing your resume link, use your full name so that it looks professional and it's easy to recall by potential employers. For example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz.jobs180.com. Step 2. Create and design. When creating your resume, make sure to complete your personal information and upload your profile picture. One of the highlights of the resume link is the portfolio section. In the portfolio section, you can show off your skills by uploading samples of your work like documents, pictures, videos, and your social media links.
Your resume link also features different themes and you can upload a cover photo. This is a combination of a cover letter and a social network cover photo. Here is an example. You can also download a copy of your resume link and print it. Step 3. Apply for a job. There are many ways to apply with your resume link.
First is browsing the job recommendations in your Jobs 180 dashboard.
If you're qualified, click Submit Resume Link. So what are you waiting for? Dress up your next generation resume, stand out brightly among the competitive job seekers in the market, and win the heart of your future employers using Resume Link.
Sasamahan kita. Sasamahan kita.
Minimithi, inaasam, pangarap na walang hanggan. Bawat ngiti, nagniningning, magsisilbing liwanag sa dilim. Natatanaw mo ba? Maaabot mo ba? Tanong sa bawat bukas, masasagot mo na. Mahaba man ang daan, madami man niyang hadlang, huwag kang mag-alala, sasamahan kita. Buksan ang kinabukasan, tuklasin ang kayamanan ng puso nangangarap. Bawat hakbang patungo sa pangarap. 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 Malinaw na ang paraan, kalimutan na nakaraan. Ayusin natin ang daan, anuman ang humadlang. Gamitin ang iyong lakas para maiangat ang iyong antas. Mula sa baba, ngayon nasa taas, kinang ng puso iyong ilabas. Kami aalalay iyong kaagapay, sa bawat hakbang meron ka ng karamay. Hanggang sa tagumpay, ika'y magtatagumpay. Ang imposible ay kaya, basta't sama-sama. Kaya huwag mag-alala, sasamahan kita. Buksan ang kinabukasan, tuklasin ang kayamanan ng puso lumalaban. Bawat hakbang patungo sa pangarap. 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 Sasamahan kita, meron ka ng kasangga. Sasamahan kita, di ka na mag-iisa. Sasamahan kita, huwag kang mag-alala. Sasamahan kita, di ka na mawawala. Sasamahan kita, meron ka ng kasangga. Sasamahan kita, di ka na mag-iisa. Buksan ang kinabukasan, tuklasin ang kayamanan ng puso, lumalaban. Bawat hakbang patungo sa pangarap. Buksan ang kinabukasan, tuklasin ang kayamanan ng puso, lumalaban. Bawat hakbang patungo sa pangarap. 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 Sasamahan kita.
I'm on mute. Good morning. Welcome to the eCareer Ignition Series. Good morning, FINMA Education students and faculty. So this is our Resume Link Talk Part 2. By the way, I'm Kat Bayati, your host from Alumni and Corporate Engagement Team based in FINMA University of Iloilo. So if you have questions later regarding our topics, please feel free to comment using our FB comment box. And don't forget to access the attendance link, which you can find on the main text. And this is actually pinned in the comment section. So we will not count those who will type their names in the comment box. So please use the link. Your attendance are being monitored and reported to your advisors. So our topics for today, this is our part two resume talk, where you will not just be refreshed what resume link is, but also know how to apply using the resume link, navigate the job portal, and get application tips from the HR experts. We're happy to have HR experts from our dear partners Transcom and ARB Call Facilities. And this webinar is powered by Jobs 180. So madamo gid salamat, Jobs 180. And then just to highlight our career schedules, special mention to UI students who are required to attend these activities. Please take note of the schedules, which are posted also at our private page. And as part of your clearance, you are required to create your resume link. This will be used for your mock interview in January. You will be assigned to an interviewer, so you have to have your resume link. Also, to attend the employer sessions relevant to your course in preparation for the virtual career fiesta in March. So there you go. We'll be posting this at our batch 22 career ignition page. With no more further ado, I'd like to call on our first speaker, very famous gid siya. He is the managing director of Jobs 180. I may say that he's an expert in sales and marketing, business development, customer service. He actually graduated with double degree at De La Salle University, BS Applied Economics and Commerce. I'm very pleased to introduce you to Mr. Kim Chua. Over to you, Kim.
Hello. Hi, Ma'am Kat. Thank you for the introduction. Um, I am now actually sharing my screen para sa ating pag-present ng ano po ng ating reminders sa ating resume link. Now, for those who are listening right now, shout out po sa lahat ng FinMa Ed Schools na nandito. Yung marami sa inyo naka-share na ako ng resume link. No? So, ito more of like a refresher. And I want to emphasize paano nyo ba ito mas magagamit pa or mas magiging ano pa to, useful no, sa side ninyo. So, let me just make sure lang that my screen is up. Sandali lang Let me just do this. Again, share my screen. All right. So, let me try to share my entire screen na lang. Be faster. Okay, let me. Okay, so there. It is now up. Yan. Habang ina-up natin, sa mga padaan pa lang ang bagyo, sana umiwas na yung bagyo. Okay? Hindi tayo iiwas sa bagyo. Yung bagyo sana umiwas na sa atin. So kung saan man kayo, please stay safe no, sa bahay ninyo. Ayan. Okay. So now my screen is up. My assumption is you can see it now. And I'm here to share to you about itong importance ng resume link. Sa mga hindi pa po nakakarinig na itong resume link na ito yung tinatawag nating most secured resume platform. And the reason why it is most secured because you control your privacy settings. In almost everything that you're going to do with this, you're going to use it, kayo may control, no? 100% ng information ninyo. So let me just go through the slides na. I'll skip some of the not so important slides here. But let me teka lang, let me just oh no. Wait, sandali. It's not moving. So let me ako naman may technical problem. Walang bagyo dito pero may technical problem. Sandali. I'm wondering why it's not showing up. Ayan, nakita niyo sa screen, no? So let me close it. Let me share it again. Yan talaga ang virtual ano natin ngayon, ang virtual buhay. So some of the things that I want to share is that kahit anong preparation mo, kahit ready ka na sa presentation mo, excited ka na, 'di ba? Pagka nag-open na yung PowerPoint mo tapos biglang kagaya ng nangyayari ngayon, hindi naglo-load. Konting kwentuhan lang muna. Okay? So, for those who have already created the resume link, just go through with me, okay, with what I will share with you. Sa mga hindi pa, you can watch some of the replays. You can check out our Facebook link. You can check out as well yung ating YouTube channel sa youtube.com/jobs180 and you'll be able to see no yung full presentation. Kasi ngayon, ipapakita ko lang yung ating parang mga highlights. Okay? Ayan, so let me do this again. Let me share my screen. Okay, ulitin natin. I hope this time, with all the fingers crossed, lalabas na siya. Ayan. So I'm now sharing my screen. I'm sharing my entire screen and I'm now going to the slides. Okay. Ayan na, hindi na ako bumibitaw. Lahat ng daliri ko nakakross na. Ito na. Once it's up, I'm gonna start moving the slides. Okay? So, ResumeLink is a unique tool, okay, for you to create. It's unique to jobs180.com, pero hindi ito unique para gamitin lang kay jobs180.com. You can use this, in fact, sa kahit na iba-ibang mga platform. And that's the reason why I want to show you this. So I'm really praying hard right now as I'm speaking that my laptop will cooperate. Okay? There. So I can see it now moving. So I'm just making my assumption that you guys also see my slides. Okay? So marami mga platform, marami mga online tools right now are being offered. Now this tool will be able to help you to stand out. Yan, recap lang, no? Una-una, pag nag-apply ka, kailangan mag-stand out ka eh. So itong tool na to can help you to do that. And it can also help you to consolidate all your files. So you don't have to worry about sending a lot of information. Diba? Isa pang maganda rito is yung process nyo sa pag-a-apply napapabilis. kasi nababawasan yung pabalik-balik sa mga kailangan ng mga HR. Regardless kung saan location man kayo. If you're in Cebu, you are in Cabanatuan sa Nueva Ecija, or even if you're from Cagayan de Oro or from Iloilo, pare-pareho naman tayo lahat buhay aplikante, no? So ito yung pinagdadaanan natin. Wala itong bayad, libre itong tool na ito, at higit sa lahat, yung information nyo very secured, okay? Yan. Kaya siya tinawag or kaya siya dinob na the most secure resume platform. It's because you control everything. Now, for a little refresher lang, what is a resume link? A resume link is a personalized URL. It is a link that anyone can open online anytime. So if I must use an example para makarelate kayo, if you are John Santos, ang link mo, yung resume link mo, pwede siya maging johnsantos.jobs180.com. Ganun kasimple. And for you to create one, these are the simple steps lang. Okay? There are actually 3 steps I want to share. Okay? Yung isang step is for you to register. How do you make one? You go to this link. Now, I'm using this link as an example because ang host natin ngayon na school is from FINMA University of Iloilo. Okay? So, everyone who is from UI, from FINMA UI, ito po yung link ninyo. Go to schools, with an S, with an S. Go to schools.jobs180.com/ University of Iloilo. Dire-diretso lang po, walang spaces in between. Okay, as you go to that page, what you will see is a registration button on the right side, upper right side portion. Now, you click on that kapag wala ka pang resume link. Okay, kapag wala pa. So, you click on that to register. This is absolutely for free, wala itong bayad. Now, for the rest of the other schools who are here, meron din po kayong kanya-kanyang mga dedicated page, kagaya nung ginawa natin para kay University of Iloilo. However, to simplify my presentation, as an option, you can just go to jobs180.com. That's www.jobs180.com, at dito kayo ngayon mag-register. Ganun pa rin, nasa upper right side din ng screen nyo yan. And then later on, as you fill in the blanks, doon nyo po ilalagay yung school ninyo. Okay? Piliin nyo yung school ninyo. Siyempre, kung kayo po ay taga Southwestern University, lagay nyo Southwestern University. Okay? Kung kayo ay taga Cagayan de Oro College, alam nyo na ang gagawin nyo. Okay? So, if you're from whatever school, hanapin nyo yung school ninyo doon sa listahan na yan, at doon yun yung gagawin nyo. Parang fill in the blanks lang yan. Okay? Now, moving forward, you start to create your resume link by putting your unique name. So ano ba ang basehan ng unique name natin? Kadalasan ang unique name natin, pangalan lang natin. Kagaya nung sinabi ko kanina, if you're John Santos, just use John Santos. Okay? Kung sakali may kapangalan ka, may ibang tao, John Santos din, naunahan ka mag-register, huwag kayong magpapanik. Okay? Huwag kayong matakot. Okay lang naman. Pwede nyo baliktarin. You can be a little creative. You can say J. Santos. You can say John S. Diba? Pwede rin siya Santos John. Diba? Depende sa link na gusto nyo mangyari. Basta importante, wala kayong kapareho kahit kayo may kapangalan. Okay? Now, another emphasis dito is huwag kayong over-creative. Kasi may iba sa mga job seeker, medyo ginagamit nila yung mga pa-cutie-cutie nilang mga nickname or aliases. Diba? Halimbawa, tawag sa inyo, si Pogi. Diba? Halimbawa lang, huwag mo lalagay dyan, Boss Pogi. .jobs180.com, because it doesn't sound professional. No? And obviously naman, 'di ba, if you are sexy and hot, you don't put there I am sexy and hot .jobs180.com. 'Di ba? Kasi pag hiningi ito ng HR sa inyo, yan ang bibigay nyo. Imagine na lang, 'di ba? As I would always joke about it, pag nilagay mo diyan El Diablo, pag nakita yan ng HR, baka matakot na yan kaagad. 'Di ba? Baka hindi na yan buksan yung resume link niyo. Okay? So I recommend just stick to your name, and whatever your name is, it will sound professional. Okay? Now, moving forward, when you register, please use a valid email. Valid email, yung mga email na nabubuksan natin, kagaya ng Yahoo, Gmail, Outlook, yung ano man email. Basta huwag kang gagamit ng @facebook.com na email. Huwag mo gagamitin yung sample lang, ha. Huwag kang gagamit ng george@facebook.com na email. Yan, huwag kang gagamit ng Catherine@facebook.com na email to register. Kasi pag yan ang ginamit mo, yung @facebook.com, hindi mo na mabubuksan yung inyong notification, pati yung mga pinapadala ng mga company sa inyo at ni jobs180.com. So, you need to be able to open it because you want to verify your account. Okay, yan yung pinaka-importante. You have to verify your account as a proof na ikaw nag-register, and then you'll be receiving yung mga notifications na possible job opportunities or job matches na nag-match dun sa profile ninyo. Okay? So, let's go to the second step. Simple lang yung first step, recap lang. First step. First step pa lang tayo, baka nakalimutan nyo na. Register. Okay, wala tong bayad. Libre po yan. Let's go to the second step. The second step is for you to complete your information. Now, how do you complete the information? Siyempre, very logical. Dapat kumpleto detalye nyo. Huwag nyo sayangin oras ng HR at oras din ninyo pag kayo nag-a-apply sa mga kumpanya tapos kulang-kulang detalye nyo. So, you have to complete those profile. Okay? That resume link has to be complete with your information. And how do you do that? Punta kayo ulit dito sa link na ito. For everyone who's listening, who is from University of Iloilo, FINMA UI, dito po kayo pumunta sa link na ito. schools.jobs180.com/University of Iloilo. Okay? And from here, you can click now, log in. Hindi na register, log in na kasi meron ka ng account. Okay? Huwag ka na gawa ng gawa ulit. Diba? Pag meron na, yun na yun. You just have to edit na lang or update the information. So now you log in here. Now for those other schools who are listening, sabi ko nga kanina, meron kanya-kanyang mga dedicated career portal, pero for simplification lang of my presentation, kahit ikaw ay taga University of Iloilo, just in case nakalimutan mo kasi napakahaba ng link, pwede ka rin pumunta dito sa www.jobs180.com. That's jobs180.com. And this time, since may account ka na, ang gagawin mo, lagay mo yung resume link mo and yung password ninyo. Okay? Yan ang gagawin mo dyan. Okay? The assumption is, meron na kayong account. Okay? At alam mo na account mo yan. Okay? Now, what else do you do? Now, as you go in, you fill in the blanks. From here, hindi ko na to iisa-isahin because obvious naman, alam nyo na ano dapat nyo ilagay dyan. If you can read, then definitely you know what to put in. Diba? If it says here email, you put the email. It says here address, you put your address. So you get my point. Okay? Now, some of the things I want to emphasize lang para mas mabilis kayo makontak ng mga HR, ilagay nyo dito yung mga paraan na pwede kayo makontak kaagad ng mga HR, ng mga companies. Ano yung mga yan? Ilagay nyo dito ang inyong mobile number. Ilagay nyo dito ang inyong mga social media account. Okay? Lahat yan, mga social media account, ilagay nyo diyan. Bakit? Para mabilis kayo makontak ng mga HR. Oftentimes, HR will call you, but madalas din, pag hindi kayo makontak sa phone, they'll send you an email, and you don't open your email more often than you open your social media handles, yung mga social media accounts nyo. So, lagay mo dyan, Facebook, Twitter, whatever you have, put it there para mabilis kayo makontak ng mga HR. Okay? Another thing I want to emphasize, para mabilis yung inyong process sa pagpa-process ng HR din sa inyo, is you can also choose the work options. The one I'm flashing on the screen right now, yes, you see that? Nakalagay work options. Mamimili lang kayo. Yes, no lang yung switch na yan. Willing to work overseas, willing to relocate, looking for OJT, or willing to work night shift. Depende kung anong preference nyo, yes or no. And the system will try to match you with companies who are also looking for the same profile with what you have. Okay? Ganun lang yan. Okay? Now, if you don't set this up properly, then you won't be matched properly then. Kaya, simple lang, di ba? You set this up properly, a lot of companies will be matched according to your profile, and you decide later on sino dun sa mga kumpanya na kumakatok sa inyo ang i-entertain ninyo. Okay? So kahit na marami kayo nakuha ang job matches, just keep it coming. Di ba? Okay? Now, moving forward, you put the rest. Sabi ko nga, fill in the blanks lang yan. Kung may yung school, lagay nyo yung school ninyo. Kahit marami kayong pinasukan na school, lagay mo dyan lahat. Walang problem. Okay? Walang limit sa space. Seminars attended, ganun din. Kahit gano'ng karami, walang limit sa space. Certification, lagay mo rin dyan kung meron kayong mga certification program. Ang achievement na portion, wag i-limit lang sa loob ng school. Hindi lang to about academic excellence. If you have other achievements outside of your school, you can also put it here. Okay? Marami yan. Maraming space yan. So, walang limit in short. Okay? Pagdating po sa skills, do not limit your skills dyan lang sa course nyo. Even if it is outside your course, you put it there because you're marketing yourself more effectively. Okay? As an example lang, if you're an education graduate, hindi porket edu graduate ka, alam mo lang gawin magturo. Maybe you are also into IT, you're into graphic design, you're into programming, you're into music, di ba? Arts and crafts, or iba pang mga skills ninyo, ilagay mo dyan. Pagdating sa languages, wag mo yan ilimit sa English lang at saka sa Tagalog. Diba? Because some of you might know other local dialect. Kagaya ngayon, I'm sure, may mga iba sa inyo marunong ng Cebuano, di ba? Bisaya, hiligay nun. Di ba? Yan. Di ba? So, kung ano maalam natin, ilagay mo dyan. Okay? Walang limit sa space yan. Pagdating sa references, make sure lang sinabihan yung mga references nyo para alam nila ang sasabihin nila about you kapag sila ay tinawagan for background checking. Okay? Now, let me move forward to the more important items. Na kadalasan, ito yung mga napapansin natin kapag kayo ay gumawa ng resume link, you tend to skip itong mga portion na to. Ano itong mga portion na ito? Let me start with the portfolio section. Itong portfolio section, ito yung portion para mas ma-emphasize mo yung mga skills mo dun sa company na ina-applyan mo. Okay? Ito yung parang backup mo eh. Okay? Para mapakita mo yung proof na meron ka talagang ganung mga skills. Okay? Because oftentimes, students will be listening, or actually those who are listening right now, some of you are just thinking, oh, gawa lang ako kasi required ako sa school eh. Gawa lang ako ng resume link, tapos na. Don't treat it like that. Treat it like this is your tool, this is your key to make your process more efficient sa pag-apply dun sa kumpanya. And ba't ko nasabi yun? Because I myself, I'm also, aside from an applicant, no, I used to be an applicant and could be an applicant later on, di ba? I'm also speaking as an HR. Ano yung mga bagay na mapapabilis kapag ang mga HR pinaprocess yung mga aplikante? At isa ito sa mga yon. You can upload here yung mga proof of your skills. Example, di ba? Kung kayo graduate na, yan ang pinakasimple. Pag graduate na kayo, anong document meron nyo? Meron kayong transcript, meron kayong diploma, di ba? Yan, yung mga bagay na yan, ebidensya na kayo ay tapos na doon sa school. Diba? Mayroon kayong mga medical records later on that the HR might be asking for clearances. You might have government IDs to support, 'di ba? NBI clearance para masabing wala kang criminal record, 'di ba? Yan yung mga bagay na yan. So you can now simply take a picture or scan them then attach it here sa portfolio section. Ganun lang yan. And pero kahit na napakabilis sa part mo gawin, ang laki ng impact na yan, yung process ng pagiging efficient sa HR, sobrang bilis because the HR they don't need to to find out itong taong to kaya mataas kaya grades niya sa science, okay kaya yung grades niya sa math, may bagsak kaya siya sa school or ano kaya siya, may mga academic records kaya siya. By simply looking at your transcript, kita na nila kaagad kung ano yung mga grades na matataas at yung mga grades na medyo naghirap tayo, nag-struggle tayo. Ayan, hindi ko sinabing bagsak ha, nag-struggle lang. Okay? Now, another thing I want to emphasize din, para mabilis yung processing ng mga HR, lalo na sa panahon ngayon, because we're all doing it virtually, since the start of the pandemic, we've been trying to adjust na rin, both applicants and HR, ito yung isa sa mga bagay na gawin ninyo. Okay? Hindi ko to nire-recommenda. Sinasabi ko na sa inyo, gawin ninyo. Okay? Gawin ninyo. Bakit? You can create a selfie video. And doing a selfie video right now is so simple. Kung kayo ay nakakapag-TikTok, napakabilis nito para sa inyo. Okay? Magsalita lang kayo pagdating sa selfie video. Okay? Hindi lang sumayaw at magmimik. Okay? Ano gagawin nyo? Get your smartphone. Okay? Record a selfie video. You say something interesting about yourself and do it in about 1 minute or less. Ganun kasimple. Okay? That's what you do. Okay? Ganun gawin nyo. Ayan. So while I'm speaking, while I'm trying to explain to you, piniplay ko na yung video and this video is very short. It's only 36 seconds and you're done. Diba? Pero again, very efficient. Kasi si HR, when they look at the information, your video, they can immediately evaluate your communication skills. So nababawasan yung pabalik-balik dun sa pagtatawag nila sa inyo. Minsan maingay yung background, minsan hindi nagtutugma yung schedule nyo, minsan busy ang numbers nyo. At least dito, when they watch your speech, diba, on why you should be considered for their position, they can immediately proceed na to the next step, whether to process for your application or to keep you for reference. You can also showcase here yung mga hard skills nyo. Halimbawa, you want to show kung paano gumamit ng soldering iron, 'di ba? Kung paano mag-operate ng fax machine, 'di ba? Or kung paano maggawa ng mga skirting or paano mag-fold ng table napkins, 'di ba? Depende kung anong mga skills na alam niyo, you can show it there. Okay? Now the rest, it's also no-brainer na. Pag sinabi kong profile picture, you also put your picture there. Hindi yung picture ng classmate mo, 'di ba? Obvious naman, picture niyo 'yan. Okay? And wag kayong maglalagay ng mga picture na ganito yung mga itsura kagaya ng mga nasa right side ng screen niyo. Okay? These are just some of the items that I normally remind the applicants na wag niyong seryosohin nyo, okay, itong pag-create nyo ng resume link, because when you apply to those companies, naka-reflect dyan yung personality nyo eh. Diba? So, you have to put your pictures there. Another thing that you can do is to put a cover photo. Okay? Yung cover photo is a support to your personality. Diba? Para makita ng isang HR kung ano ang meron dun sa aplikante. Okay? Some of the applicants are into sa health, sa mata, ophthalmology siya or eye expert. Some of them are admin assistant. Depende kung anong meron gusto niyo ipakita sa personality niyo, 'di ba? You're into psychology or something else, 'di ba? You can put it there. Okay? You get my point. So these are some examples lang that I'm showing you that are good examples. Okay, so you can show your personality by putting those cover photos there. Now, some of the not so good examples, para lang maipaspas ko lang din, ito yung wag nyo gagawin. Wag nyo ibablanko yung mga picture ninyo. Wag nyo ilalagay dyan na walang laman, kasi kung walang laman yan, it will not catch the attention of the HR. Sigurado, it will not catch the HR's attention. Okay, so do not put it like that. And if you want to catch attention, wag naman ganitong klase. This is just my opinion kasi ang dating parang tamad, no? Baka ma-misinterpret nung HR yung inyong profile picture. So don't put something then na you think is could mislead the HR, okay? So again, emphasize ko lang, lahat ng information na pwede nyo ipakita sa isang HR sa company na ina-apply nyo, ilagay mo na sa loob ng resume link ninyo. Kung bakit? Kasi control nyo naman ang privacy settings nyo. Yan ang isa sa best feature netong resume link. Okay? Kaya ito tinawag na the most secured resume platform because even if you put everything here, you control your privacy settings 100%. And that is to show you lang kung paano mangyayari yon. When you log in to your dashboard sa Jobs on AT account ninyo, meron doon settings. Doon po sa settings, you click on privacy settings. Now, during that privacy settings section, kayo ang mamili which information you want to show or hide in public. So kayo na bahala, no? And this is real-time update. So example lang, kung ngayon sinabi mo don't show your birthday, you don't show your address, you don't show your reference, tapos biglang 5 minutes later na realize mo gusto mo ipakita yung birthday mo, pati yung address mo, all you need to do is update your profile, yung information mo dito sa privacy settings, save it, and then lahat po ng binigyan mo ng resume link, even from at one point in time, nabigay mo ng resume link mo, example 5 months ago or 2 months ago, lahat na nabigyan mo, ma-update sila real time. Real time meaning as of the last time na nag-update ka ng information nyo. Okay? So, remind ko na lang, kumpletuhin ang information nyo, make sure it's interesting, it's attractive, at higit sa lahat, updated ang details nyo. Okay? Yung mga contact details nyo para mabilis kayo makontak ng mga respective companies natin na mga ina-applyan. Okay? Now, let's go to the last step. Now, in terms of practical application, ito na yung last step. How do you now submit your resume link? Paano ka mag-a-apply ngayon or paano mo siya gagamitin sa iba-ibang mga kumpanya? Okay? So, una sa lahat, pumunta ka ulit dito sa link na ginawa natin para kay University of Iloilo. So, shoutout lang sa lahat ng mga taga-FINMA UI. Ito yung shortcut na link. You go to schools.jobs180.com/University of Iloilo. Now, on this page, you will be able to see yung mga industry partners, pati na rin iba-ibang mga companies na pwede nyo makita as an option na pwede nyo applyan. Now, for the rest, you might be thinking, no, sir, hindi man po ako taga-FINMA UI, pwede ba ako pumunta sa link na ito? Actually, pwede rin naman. Pwede rin naman. Okay? Pero mas maganda, pumunta ka na lang sa jobs180.com. www.jobs180.com at dito kayo pumunta para makita nyo yung mga iba-iba pang mga companies. Okay? Now, what you can do here is that doon sa may Jobs on 80 na website, hindi searchable ang resume link. Yan na isa sa mga key feature ng resume link, hindi siya searchable. So if your name is example lang Alex, and if I go to Facebook, I type Alex, maybe I'll end up with a few thousand or a few 100,000 Alex. Yan yung lalabas. Pero pag tinype ko sa search bar yung Alex, walang lalabas. Kasi hindi searchable ang resume link niyo sa jobson80.com na website. Ang search bar na nakita nyo sa website ni Jobson80, ang function lang niyan ay to search for companies, search for the location, and search for the position title. So what I did earlier, para lang ma-emphasize ko rin, no, nag-screenshot ako, we invited some of the guest later as a speaker. So tinype ko dito, Transcom, tinype ko lang Transcom as a company. Ano nangyari? Makita mo kagad lahat ng mga possible opportunities ni Transcom. Now, ginawa ko rin, tinype ko Iloilo. Diba? Para lang, alam mo yun, siyempre, para sa ating mga host school ngayon sa FINMA UI, tinype ko doon sa search Iloilo. And I saw a lot of opportunities as well na being offered dyan po sa area niyo sa Iloilo. And this goes the same for the rest. No? If you're in Cebu, then you type Cebu. Or if you have a specific company you want to apply to, type it there. Okay? Now, remember, pag tinype mo yung kumpanya at lumabas, meron. Pag tinype mo yung kumpanya at hindi lumabas, malamang wala. Okay? So, wag natin pilitin. Kung wala, wala. Kung meron, meron. Okay? Now, another thing I want to emphasize is that pag meron kang gustong applyan na kumpanya, kahit hindi ka pa qualified, bigay mo lang resume link mo. Okay? Even if yung company is looking for someone with at least 5 years of experience, I recommend you give your resume link today because you never know, 5 years from now, diba? Later on, pwede ka na mag-qualify dun sa position na ina-applyan nyo. Okay? Another emphasis lang, no? I-emphasize ko lang yung paggamit ng email naman because a lot of you are using email to apply to companies. Now, what do? You normally write your email. But this time, you don't have to attach anything. Okay? Wala ka nang i-attach. Huwag ka na maglagay ng mga Word file, PDF file, or whatever file as an attachment. Instead, ilagay mo na lang diretso yung resume link mo, i-type mo na lang. So example lang, Dear HR Manager, I'd like to apply for your company for the following position. This is my resume. Just type it there. In this example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz, jobsonity.com. I hope to hear from you soon. Thank you. Send. Ganun lang kasimple. Okay, no more attachment, no more whatever, pampabigat. sa email or tatawag dyan yung mga bubuksan pa ng HR eh. So wag niyo nang pahirapan pa. Okay? Now, ito, bubuksan din naman ng HR. Pero for sure, pag naka-email, pag nabuksan niya yung email, naka-online siya. So, click lang niya yung link. Makita niya yung information niya. Okay? It will be more efficient. Now, for those who wants to print their resume link, if you want to have a hard copy, pwede mo rin siya i-print. Yan din yung isang advantage niyan. No? Huwag ka na gumawa sa Word file para lang mag-print ng hard copy nyo. So, pag meron ka ng resume link, all you need to do is print your resume link at mamili ka lang kung 1 column or 2 column version. Yan. Okay? So either way, the system will try to compress everything into one page. Now, another thing I want to emphasize din is kung gusto mo may hard copy ka, tapos tipid, no? Gusto mo makatipid kasi ayaw mo gumastos ng malalaking short band or long band paper sa printout, then ito ang gawin mo. Mag-print ka sa isang papel lang, short band or long band paper ng tinatawag nating resume link cards. So you can make multiple cards. Marami. You can make 10, 20 sets of cards sa isa pong pirasong long band or short band paper. And that's what you use now to apply to the companies. Both hard copy na siya, tapos tipid kasi hindi mo kailangan gumastos ng maraming papera at hindi lang yon, secured pa. Okay, secured kasi yung information lang na nakikita ng HR dyan sa resume link card nyo ay yung information lang na ilalagay mo rin. Example, nilagay mo lang resume link mo doon sa resume link card, so controlled mo yung privacy settings mo. So if whoever gets hold of that resume link card will only see kung ano yung sinet mo doon sa privacy settings mo. Okay? So you make kampante ka. Kumbaga you have peace of mind. Even if mawala yung papel na yan, lumipad, may nakapulot, controlled mo yung privacy settings mo. Okay? Now, most of the time ngayon yung mga aplikante, they're using gadgets na lang no to apply kasi nga online, virtual. So take advantage of the technology. Huwag na tayo gumastos ng mga papel. Okay? And besides, ganun din naman yan eh. Kung pasado ka kahit anong pang papel ang gamitin mo, kahit anong bango pa niyan, may pop-up pa yan, may hologram pa na lumalabas, it doesn't really matter. Okay? Ang importante yung nilalaman ng information nyo. Okay? So use the gadget. Okay? Now later on, some of you might be reacting, Sir, wala pa kasi akong gadget, hindi pa ako nabibilhan po, wala pa po kaming pambili ng gadget, then try to find a way to at least have a resume link. Create lang a resume link. And once you're done, kung meron ka ng resume link mo, napaka-useful niyan. Pwede mo na isulat yan. Siguro naman makakahiram na tayo ng ballpen, no? Ballpen na lang or lapis. Sulat mo na lang sa papel at yan na po yung mga ibibigay nyo sa mga companies. And I'm sure those companies who will be seeing that resume link can open your resume link because they have internet connection. All they need to do is type it lang sa browser. Ayan, Google Chrome, Firefox, Android, whatever they're using, they'll be able to see your information according to your privacy settings. Okay? So recap na lang. Ito yung mga checklist ko kung ba't ko nasabi itong resume link ang right tool right now gamitin. Okay? Right tool kasi unang-una sa lahat, very secured. You control your privacy settings 100%. Ikaw ang may control niyan. Okay? Walang ibang may control. Ikaw lang. Okay? Next, the speed of hire becomes faster because whatever information you want to share dun sa HR or whatever the company would need from you, you just have to attach it inside the resume link. Nababawasan yung pabalik-balik. Flexible because you don't have to, every time na lang kailangan mag-print ka ng resume or you have to save it sa mga USB or hard drive. You don't have to worry about it. Pwede mo siya i-print pag kailangan mo siya i-print. Okay? Wala tong bayad. Libre po ito. No? Libre ang paggawa ng resume link. So, very, very cost efficient. And you can share this resume link to whatever platform you want to share it to. Kayo ang may control. Gusto mo siya i-text? Basta alam mo yung phone number ng papadalhan mo, syempre mabibigay mo. Gusto mo siya i-send via Messenger? Send mo via Messenger. Depende yan kung sino ang gusto mo bigyan ng inyong information. Okay? So, nasabi ko na po yan, wala po itong compatibility issue. Lahat po ng version pwede. Whatever you're using, Android man yan, or iOS, or any version, pwede. Basta meron pong internet browser. Okay? Basta may internet connection. And I'm sure, kahit saan ka pumunta ngayon, meron na pong internet. Okay? Yan. So, shoutout lang po ako sa lahat ng school partners natin. By the grace of God, meron na po tayong more than 400 plus colleges and university partners nationwide, including your alma mater. Okay? Those who are listening right now, from FINMA UI and from the FINMA education system, kami po ay nagpapasalamat for us to be able to do this, to be able to educate those who are in need of this tool. At it doesn't stop here. You also share this to your friends or to your relatives that you think would need this tool as well. Okay, so wala tong bayad, libre to. Share the blessing, ika nga. Okay? So, just some frequently asked questions. Later on, we'll have a Q&A. Later on pa yon. Pero just in case ito yung mga questions nyo, sagutin ko na. Pwede ko bang gamitin ng resume link sa mga kumpanya na hindi naman kilala ang jobs180.com? The answer is absolutely yes, for as long as alam nila ang resume link mo. Paano nila malalaman? Ikaw ang magbibigay nun. Ikaw lang ang magbibigay dun sa mga companies ng resume link nyo. Okay? Next, pareho ba ito sa ibang mga job site kagaya na LinkedIn, JobStreet, MyNemo, or any other job platform? The answer is no. May dalawang pagkakaiba. Okay? Ano yung dalawang yan? Una, sample lang to, sample. So let me use with respect to JobStreet. Let me use JobStreet as an example. So if you have a JobStreet resume, pwede mo lang yan gamitin sa mga kumpanya na gumagamit din ng JobStreet. Pag ina-apply mong kumpanya hindi gumagamit ng JobStreet, hindi mo na pwede gamitin yung JobStreet na resume mo. Yung resume link mo, pwede mo to gamitin kahit na kanino. Nakita mo yung advertisement sa LinkedIn, nakita mo sa MyNemo, 'di ba? Pwede mo i-email yung HR, pwede mo i-send via text yung resume link mo, via Messenger yung resume link mo doon sa kanila. Okay? So, pwede yan. Kahit saan, pwede mo gamitin. Okay? Another difference. Kung na-submit mo na ang JobStreet resume mo sa isang company, you cannot change the information anymore, at least for the next 30 days or 60 days. Depende sa time frame. No, normally, 30 days, 60 days, you cannot change it. Touch move na yan. Whatever information you have submitted, yun na yun. Okay, so you can only update it na lang after 30 days later. Now, using the resume link, walang ganun. Anytime, real time, pwede mo bago-baguhin. Diba? Every few seconds, every few minutes that you feel like updating your profile, you can update your profile and just have to save it. Para lahat na binigyan mo ng resume link, updated real time. Okay? Third question is, can you keep your information secured? I hope by this time, ito na yung refresher natin. So I hope convinced na kayo na itong tool ang pinaka-secured na platform. Depende na lang po yan kung paano nyo isi-set yung privacy settings nyo. Okay? The fourth question is, I think, the most important question. How often? Gaano ba kadalas ina-update ang resume link? Ang sagot dyan, every time na meron kayong babaguhin. Okay, lalo na yung contact details nyo. Kasi kahit nilagay mo dyan lahat ng promotion mo, lahat ng awards mo, kung hindi ka makontak ng HR, wala rin. Wala rin mangyayari kasi hindi ka makokontak eh. Kaya dapat update mo yung contact details nyo. Okay, para mabilis kayo ma-reach out ng mga prospective companies natin. Alright? And the last question is just a trivia. Trivia lang ito. Bakit siya tinawag na jobs180.com? Kaya siya tinawag na jobs180.com kasi we want to turn your life around 180 degrees. Okay? Hindi siya 360 kasi kung 360 degrees, bumalik ka lang kung saan ka galing. Ikot ka lang ng ikot. So never ka na pupunta sa gusto mong puntahan. Okay? So ang 180 degrees is a straight line towards your career goal. And just in case lang you have questions later on na hindi natin ma-address sa Q&A, you can send us your questions dito sa info@jobs180.com. Visit our website, jobs180.com. You can also like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, pati na rin sa TikTok. Okay? Nakiki-TikTok na rin kami. Okay? So you can check us out there. Again, my name is Kim Chu. Wa. Don't forget yung wa. Baka kasi Kim Chu lang maalala nyo. Okay? Nagsasabing isang magandang umaga and keep safe to everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Ayan. I am back but I think hindi ko alam kung naka-mute pa si ma'am. Okay, let me switch back.
Ayan,
okay.
Naka-mute ako, sorry.
Naka-mute nga. Okay.
Salamat again, Kim. Very informative na as always ang webinar ninyo. Students, we strongly encourage you to finish the webinar. Actually, ang webinar natin is until 11:30 a.m. only. So right now, most of the companies are entertaining e-resume or online portfolio. Limited yung walk-ins because of the pandemic. So you have to use a job portal or online portfolio such as the Jobs 180. For us to monitor the hiring activity, we will use the Jobs 180 portal. So start building your portfolio and explore opportunities at Jobs 180 site. Actually, lahat ng FinMa Education schools aside from UI, so AUU, pang COC, SWU, even SJC have Jobs 180 portal. So this is activated naman na as we prepare for the virtual career fiesta. Now to our students, please register using the Google link form pasted on our main caption sa FinMa Ed Career Linkages. Nakapin na rin ito at nakapost sa Jobs 180 site. Yung attendance natin, guys, is time-bound. So we'll close it once we finish the webinar. I've been seeing students encoding their attendance na sa comment box. Now, please refer to the main link so we can include your live attendance. Salamat ulit, Kim, for the very informative webinar.
Thank you po. Be safe, everyone. See you later for the Q&A.
We're happy to have this next topic, how to use resume link in applying for a job, which will be discussed by our next speaker. He has 10 years of work experience as a recruiter, so he is really an expert to share the topic today. Please welcome Sir Mark Anthony Danila of Transcom. He is the current sourcing manager. Over to you, Mark.
Thanks, Miss Kat, and good morning and good morning to everyone who's in this event right now. So again, my name is Mark. I'm one of the sourcing managers of Transcom, and I'd be happy to discuss my topic for today, which is job search preparation. Okay, so just give me a few seconds. Let me share my screen and my slides. Okay, I hope everyone can see my slide. Okay, so again, job search preparation. One of the most important decisions that we need to make in our lives is choosing and finding the job that we want. Okay, so on to my first slide. There's a saying, according to Confucius, no, na choose a job that you love, and you will never have to work a day in your life. Okay, so I created some checklist on what we need to do so that we can come up with the best decision in finding a job and getting that job that we are qualified and we would love to do. Okay, so first, step one, start your job search checklist. Okay, so you can write this down in a notebook or in a piece of paper, your interest, strengths, and skills. So with this, you would know kung ano talaga yung gusto nyo na trabaho. Of course, you would also consider, first consideration nyo is kung ano yung course nyo. So let's say, of course, if I'm an education graduate, then of course, I would like to be a teacher. But there are some na, let's say, education graduate, pero iba pala yung gusto nila and would like to, apply or work in a different industry. Okay, so make sure that we list down kung what our strengths and skills for especially sa trabaho na gusto nating applyan so that we can compare, right, or cross match, okay, our interest and strengths and skills. And then of course you need to list down your academic or work experience if you have, especially you can include this to your resume that you will write later on sa ibang steps naman yun. Okay, and then of course, you can write a brief statement explaining why you are an excellent worker. You don't need to write this down sa resume mo. If you want, you can. But yung main purpose ng step 1 na checklist is that this all in your head, right? Or this is an idea. So if you're gonna write it down, it will be easy for you to remember. And during interview questions, these are the things that a recruiter will ask you. So if you write it down and memorize, or it will be easy for you to remember, then you can answer thoroughly during your interview. Okay, now step 2. So this is very important. Figure out where you want to work. Okay, so again, ano bang kumpanya yung gusto kong applyan? It could be the company. It could be the role that you're applying for na gusto mo talaga. So you need to figure out and decide which job or which company you want to work for. So here, you need to write down a few jobs or careers. Write down a list of companies that you would enjoy working. And also, in simultaneous with this step, you should check company profiles online. So right now, with our technology, all information is available online, okay, or in the web. So it would be our benefit if we check company profiles, check for feedbacks and reviews from previous employees regarding a certain company that you want that's on your list. Okay, and then of course, know what kind of job you're applying for or you're qualified for. So I believe all of us here are all of the viewers here are mostly graduating students or graduates. So So yung mga positions that you're gonna apply for are entry level positions. So you can check all of those. And then for those with work experience, managerial positions, and of course we have skilled work positions na that we can check online. Okay, for with each company that we want to apply for. Know your limits. So, ano ba, how much yung gusto kong sweldo. So, for entry-level positions, there's a range of salaries that a company can offer or an industry offers. Okay, so you can check online kung how much yung sweldo sa company na to or sa industry na to. Let's say sa health industry, ano ba, how much yung mga in-offer na sweldo. Is it between 15,000 to 20,000? Pag BPO, 20,000 to 30,000. And then you can decide which industry you want to work for. Of course, we would love to have, a good or competitive salary, right? And that's very important. But for me, I think it's more important. This is my personal opinion to really check for the role and the job na gusto mo versus salary. Of course, salary will just will follow if especially if you're doing good with your current job. Okay? And then geographical location. How far ba tong company or itong trabaho na to sa bahay mo? One study shows that an employee in yung attrition, no, when we say attrition, kung bakit nagre-resign yung isang empleyado. So if the travel time is more than an hour, there's a big chance na magre-resign yung isang empleyado. Okay, so consider the travel time from your home to your work kung saan mo gustong magtrabaho. Because syempre, you're already working with you're working, and then after work, let's say may traffic pa, 2 hours, 1 to 2 hours yung travel time mo, so you'd be really exhausted. So just imagine going to work and then coming from work, going home from work. So let's say yung travel time mo is 2 hours, so that's like 4 hours in a day. So just imagine the time that you waste just by traveling, in which you can be productive, or time that you can spend more with your family or with your hobby or interest, right? So you should consider that as well. That's very important. Okay, and of course, the schedule. So are you a night person? Masakitin ka ba na hindi ka pwede pang night shift? So you should check this. You should check this as well. So very important din yung work schedule sa isang trabaho na in-applyan mo. Okay? Next slide. I'm sorry. Okay, step 3. So get everything you need for an interview. So you already chosen the job and the company that you want to apply for. So the list that you made in step 1, you can include those to the resume that you're making, that you will make or that you will create, right? So of course, in a resume, very important is your personal details, educational background, work experience if you have, and then of course you're here on the second list, on the second bullet under step 3 is 3 people for your references. Okay, and then plan ahead. So plan answers to common interview questions that will happen during your interview. And then here, prepare a very nice professional looking outfit for your interview. So kahit on-site man yung interview or virtual, which is very common nowadays, especially with the pandemic, ensure that you dressed well during your interview. If you are dressed professionally, you will feel professionally as well, and you'll be able to handle yourself better, or you'll be more confident during an interview. Okay, and then make sure your email address is professional. So I've been in the recruitment industry, and I've encountered many of these instances. Example, tirador ng Pasay at yahoo.com. So just imagine, right? So of course, you need to create um, an email that looks professional. So let's say, like for example, Mark Denila at Anthony or Mark Anthony Denila at yahoo.com or at gmail.com. So at least it looks professional compared to Tirador ng Pasay or Drunk Boy 1082 at google.com, right? So make sure your email address is professional. Okay, and of course, step 4, start looking for jobs. Okay, with our technology today, it's a big advantage to new applicants, when looking for a job. Unlike before, when I search for a job, of course, nagsa-start pa lang, no, during my time when I graduated, nagsa-start pa lang yung mga online job portals. So it's not that good compared to the portals back then is not as good as of today, right? Compared to some mga job portals right now with the updates and everything. So aside from online job portals, I really like walk, let's say in Ayala, and then iisa-isahin ko yung mga office for job openings. Unlike today, we just just using your laptop, you can check jobs available online sa buong bansa, and not just here in our country, even abroad. Okay, so you just need to know where to go and what to do with the data that you have or with the information that you can see online. Okay, so upload your resume. So again, the resume link, which Jobs 180 is doing, is very good, especially right now. Data privacy or data security is very important. Okay, so we have a lot of hackers or online that gets our personal data, and there's a lot of things that they can do with our personal data. So one feature of Jobs 180, which is the resume link, which the main one of its main function is to protect your personal data. Okay, so of course you need to upload your resumes with the job search engines online, or you start sending your resumes to company emails, to the company's email that you're applying for. And then of course you need to seek out career fairs, virtual career fair events. Of course, yung friends nyo din, you can ask them. So use your friends or network of contacts to search for employment and ask for their feedback as well. Kumusta yung interview dun sa Transcom? Mahirap ba? Ano ba yung process? Alright? And then after you submitted, let's say, a resume to a certain company, you can follow up. Don't hesitate to follow up for your interview schedule. So let's say, hello Transcom, I already sent my resume or my resume link to your company, to your recruitment's email address. So I would like to know what's the status of my application. Actually, it will create an impression to companies that you're very interested to the job. It shows dedication. Okay, and a company would really appreciate that, and it's a plus for you. Okay, and of course, so that's it. Step 5, be proactive. So yun, every time you follow up on a job, you call an employer for the schedule of your interview, then it shows being, yung proactiveness ng isang applicant, which is a plus, or which is a good impression for the companies that you are applying for. Okay, so here on my last slide is our recruitment process, of Transcom, just to give you a brief overview on what our recruitment process looks like if you're interested to apply to our openings. As we have 4 sites, so we have 2 sites in Manila. We have a site in Bacolod, another site in Iloilo. In Davao, we have openings in Davao, but most are work from home positions. But by next year, we'll be starting to open our site as well in Davao. Okay, so here So if you go to jobs180.com/transcom, then you'd be able to see our list of openings, and then there's a feature there in which you can click on, which is submit your resume link. So once we receive that, um, we will be sending an assessment link to your email address. Okay, yung messenger, that's when, if you're gonna go to our Facebook page, no. But let's say using jobs 180, you will apply for our openings. So we'll be sending an assessment link to your email. So there, sa assessment link, once you open it, you will fill out your personal details, and then you will proceed to our online assessment. So it will be quick. Usually it could be done within 20 to 30 minutes. So once you're done with the online assessment and then you passed it, our recruitment team will call you on your phone for your initial interview. But there's a possibility as well na, let's say you applied to our positions, tatawagan ka muna for an HR interview. Let's say hindi mo pa na-open yung email mo at hindi mo nakita yung online assessment link. So our recruitment team will call you for an HR interview, and then once you pass your HR interview, we will be reminding you to open and accomplish the online assessment. So when this happens, we call it reverse process, in which mauna yung HR interview and then the online assessment. So once you pass both process or both steps, you'll be endorsed for an ops interview. So this is a phone interview as well from our operations team, and then it's mostly conducted, no, during evening or midnight. Kasi yung operations team mostly work mid shift or night shift, right? So the hiring managers there will call you during those times. So just ensure that you keep your phone lines open. And once you pass your operations interview, next would be onboarding, job offer, and orientation. So this can be done on a 1 day process at the safety of your home. Okay. So basically, that's it for my discussion, no, for the for preparations of your job search. Again, I would like to emphasize the importance of this decision, as you know, working or employment is a big part of our life. So we usually work 20 to 30 years. So we need to ensure that we made the right decision, or the correct decision in choosing the job that we would like to be doing for our employment life, right? So again, thank you very much for listening, and I appreciate the invite from Jobs 180 and the FINMA education, the schools, no, the schools, for inviting me to share these inputs in terms of searching for a job. Okay, so again, good morning, and I hope everyone is safe.
Thank you very much, Mark, for your insights on job search. Definitely another helpful tips from the one who's been conducting recruitments. Transcom actually is our active partner supporting all our career initiatives at UI, and we're happy to extend the partnership to all FinMaEd schools. You've mentioned no, magkakaroon na kayo sa Davao. So we have our COC or Cagayan de Oro College there. So happy to
That's good.
partner with you also there. Um, if we still have time, we'll have question and answer later after our last speaker. So I'll be seeing you again, Mark. Salamat uli. Now
Thanks as
for our
well.
next, thank you. Now for our next topic, I'm happy to have ARB call facilities to provide wisdom on pre and post application tips as well as statutory requirements, meaning the documents that you need to prepare and submit as you start your career. He graduated with a bachelor's degree in interdisciplinary studies from the University of LaSalle, St. LaSalle, and he has over 6 years of experience as a recruiter. So madami tayong HR expert. Currently, his ARB Call Facilities Recruitment Supervisor. Please welcome Chris John Dumasis. Over to you, Chris.
Hi, good morning, everyone, and thank you, Ms. Kat, for the introduction. On behalf of ARB Call Facilities, we would like to extend our gratitude for inviting us over today for this webinar. And since this is our first time joining, I think it's fitting for us to share a little bit about our company, ARB Call Facilities, and then we're going to move forward to our main topic, which is the post-application process. Okay, so let's start. So ARB Call Facilities was actually founded back in 2016, and we focus on BPO or business process outsourcing services, and these are our expertise. Customer service, debt collection, loan processing, servicing, leads, sales and leads generation, and etc. Here in Bacolod, we're really focused on loans processing because we have in-house financial accounts, and well, we're found globally. We have a site in the USA, Costa Rica, China, Philippines, and then recently we expanded in Egypt. So here in the Philippines, we're found in Alabang Market, BGC, and here in the City of Smiles, Bacolod City. So we promote work and life balance. We have a lot of activities, engagement activities for our employees to make sure that they're highly motivated to work. So here are examples of our activities. And it's also our main responsibility. We feel that it's our main responsibility to give back to the community as well. But because of the pandemic, it's been put on hold for the time being. But we're looking forward for a brighter 2022, and then we can start, doing these activities again. So ARBU, I'd like to share just a very quick video about ARBU. So I'll play the video.
Grace, we don't see the video. No video yet. I think you're on mute.
Okay. I'm really sorry we've been having some slight technical issues, but I think it's on.
Chris, you're on mute again. We cannot hear you.
So that's ARB University. So it's a initiative that ARB facilities is doing for potential job seekers who wants to explore opportunities in the BPO industry. So the program essentially helps people improve their communication skills and to learn more about um, what's it like to work in the BPO industry. So moving forward. So, a world of opportunities. We provide a lot of opportunities for job seekers. So, it's not just uh, agents that we're hiring. So, basically, when you apply, there's a really large scope of different positions that you can essentially grow in. Because here in ARB Call Facilities, we also provide internal growth, and we're really promoting homegrown talents. So there are different positions that eventually can transition to. So if you're skilled in HR, you could eventually apply in human capital, and then if you're into leading, you could eventually become a leader in part of the management team. So um, there. So do's and don'ts in an interview. This was already discussed earlier, so I'm not gonna really focus on this. But it's really important for job seekers to remember that when you apply for a job, it's very important that you make a really good first impression. So the do's: always relax and smile. Greet the interviewer. There are applicants who sometimes just creep in the interview room without saying anything. So it's very important to always, say good morning or how are you to the recruiter. It helps lighten the mood. Speak loud and clear. There are all, based on my experience, there are also applicants who really talk very, very low, like they they can't express themselves really well. So it's very important that you speak loud and clear. Be tactful, focus on the question, and maintain eye contact. Don'ts, it's really a turn off for us recruiters to use if you're using your phone. It's a job interview and you need to maintain professionalism. Don't chew gum, don't fidget too much, don't move around. Um, don't say negative comments about your previous company, and don't provide one-liner responses. So those are very helpful tips that could essentially or eventually help you land a job. So this is our main topic for today. Um, I'm gonna discuss first what happens after the job interview if you fail. Now, don't take this negatively. Uh, Failure doesn't mean that it's the end of the end of the road for you. Sometimes it's a big opportunity for you to work on yourself, so that you'll be prepared next time. So listen and take note of the feedback provided by your recruiter after the interview. Recruiters usually provide you feedback after the interview, but there are some who might leave you hanging. So it's always important as well to ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask your recruiter the date of your reapplication, when you can go back and try again. Now, it's very important that you need to ask the recruiter for a reapplication date, because there are companies who might not entertain reapplication. So just to be safe, always ask, like, is there a date that I can go back and try again? Um, Ask clarifications on what went wrong. So it's very important because, well, I'm not going to explain the whole Johari window theory here, but there might be instances when you might not be aware that you actually did something that the recruiter did not like, or the recruiter was against on. So it's always important to ask for clarification, like, is there something that I need to work on? Is there a particular area for improvement that you want me to do? So always ask these questions, and recruiters are trained or calibrated to really identify these details. So and they're professionals, and they're the best people to ask when you want advice. for job seeking. So don't be afraid to ask for tips that would help you land the job next time. So if you've been given a reapplication date, give yourself more time to prepare. Do research about the company. Perhaps you were too excited, and sometimes when you're too excited, you might not have been preparing enough. You might not have done your research about the company that you're applying for because you're more worried about the interview. So always do your research just to be prepared. Practice and work on your areas for improvement. So if you've been given that no by the recruiter, try to follow the feedback that particular recruiter provided. Revisit your first interview experience and check how it could help you with your reapplication. And try again until you succeed. Don't let failure stop you. Now, I essentially believe that it's very important that we need to experience failure once or twice in our lives because it helps us become stronger, and it's a perfect opportunity to work on yourself so that by the time you apply for that job, that dream job of yours, you'll be ready. Okay. So, what to do after passing the interview? Okay, so good job, you passed the interview. It's very important that you ask the following: ask for your start date. This will give you enough time to prepare your requirements. If you, let's say, you're still employed and you're planning to transfer, always ask for a start date so you could also set proper expectations from your previous company when you're going to officially leave and transfer to your new job. Deadline and pre-employment medical schedules. Now, these are also important because some offices might not be available right away. So you really have to dedicate your time and effort to process your requirements. So in short, ask for important dates to help you prepare ahead of time. Provide updated contact information. I think this was discussed several times during this webinar. Always provide your updated mobile number. Recruiters are not omnipotent. They will not know if you suddenly change your number. So if they would call you for updates or to ask about the status of your requirements, it's very important that they can contact you right away. So always make sure that you provide updated contact details like your mobile number, email, emergency contact if we can't reach you, and sometimes, but not essential, your Facebook account. So process requirements and submitted on time is very important as well because recruitment, based on our experience here in ARB, we work hand in hand with HR. Our benefits team are the ones processing your government issued requirements. And it's very important that you prepare this ahead of time because there are some companies who might not allow you to start if you are lacking or you have not provided any of the following requirements. So an example would be on the next slide. But the last but not the least would be show up during your new hire orientation and start date. Because it would be ironic if you applied for the job and you did not show up. So it's very important that you really have to attend important events like the orientation and your start date, because it also reflects on who you are as a person, how you work. So if you show up late during your start date, it already tells us about who you are as a person. So always make sure you show up and be on time. So these are the requirements that you need to submit. So we actually grabbed these from the respective websites just to show you an example of the requirements that you need to submit. For SSS, it's your SSS ID, E1 form, the pink slip or pink sheet of paper, or it could be a screenshot of your static information details found on the website if you have. Later on, I'll be discussing how you can apply for these requirements. For TIN, an example would be your TIN ID and your 1905. Pag-ibig, your Pag-ibig loyalty card, and etc. And for PhilHealth, It's your ID and your MDR. So how to process your statutory requirements? For SSS, all you need to do is visit the website. Now this is updated, and I got this from our compensation and benefits team because well, we don't recommend going back and forth to offices when you can do it online, given it's very dangerous since we're still experiencing the pandemic. So visit the website, fill out the online form, and check your email for verification. Provide the necessary information and review before submitting. Generate your SSS number and submit personally at your nearest SSS branch for validation. Now, this is the only time that it's safe for you to drop by their office for the verification part. For TIN, download and fill out the 1902 form found in their website, and provide a photocopy of your birth certificate to your HR staff. So if you get hired in that company, you coordinate with HR as well. Sometimes it could be the recruitment team, but either way, always ask so that you don't end up going back and forth. So providing a photocopy of your birth certificate and 2 copies of your 1902 form. Well, actually, they only need 1. But just to be safe, provide 2 copies in case you might lose a copy or 2. And then our HR team, the team that the company that hired you, their HR team will coordinate and generate your TIN through the BIR portal, provided that you don't have an existing TIN. If you have questions, I think there's a reserved spot for this, but I'm gonna just keep going. For PhilHealth, submit the ER2 form provided by the HR staff and submit it to the nearest PhilHealth branch. Provide them with the necessary information and wait for the PhilHealth staff to provide you with a copy of your MDR. For Pag-ibig, go to the website, click the membership registration link, and fill out the necessary information. And once completed, you will receive a text message informing you that your Pag-ibig number has been generated. So it usually takes about 2 to 3 days, sometimes longer, but on average, it's 2 to 3 days. So that's about it for the requirements. I will answer and entertain questions later on if there are any. So our hiring, we're hiring application data agents. Like I've said, it's really about loan processing. So the requirements are very simple. You must at least be 18 years old, senior high graduate for the new curriculum, or senior high graduate for the old one, with or without BPO experience, good communication skills, and you really have to be good with computer navigation. For our non-agent position, now, if you're skilled in web design, feel free to drop an application, but we'll talk more about that later on. So these are the requirements for these particular roles. And you can just drop us an application with our job portals and visit us on LinkedIn and on our Facebook page. So I guess that's about it. So to summarize everything, the importance of applying for a job and getting feedback is essentially, it's a blessing in disguise because, well, based on my experience, I've been told, I've been rejected several times from different companies, and it helped me prepare. And I think that's very important for job seekers these days, that you should never let failure stop you, and take note of the important details that the recruiter has shared, because feedback is the gift. And eventually, if you've maximized everything, if you practice hard, you will get that dream job of yours, and start living life the way you've envisioned it. So I think that's all from me today. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mark. Our students appreciate your wisdom and career advices you've mentioned. So, madamo, gid nga salamat. To our students, because there's a change in job landscape kasi nga sa pandemic, no? Even if our partners are in Bacolod or in Iloilo, some jobs can be done in virtual. Having an online world kasi jobs become borderless. So wherever you are, you may apply to ARB and Transcom and to other partners that are outside your location, as long as there's a virtual work opportunity. May we now put all our speakers on the spotlight? So again, salamat Kim, Mark, and Chris for your insights. Again, students, reminding everyone to register your attendance using the Google link. Naka-paste siya sa ating main caption. Again, this is time-bound, so we'll close it right after this webinar. And this is your moment to ask questions. So please write it on the FB comment box. Sige, while waiting for the questions, we still have 10 minutes for the Q&A and for the announcement. To Sir Kim, I think this is very important note for the students to learn more or be refreshed about the netiquette. Would you like to give insights on the netiquette, Sir Kim?
Okay. Para sa akin, ito yung mga basic netiquette, ano ko lang, practical application. Um, Pause before you post. Think before you click, sabi nga nila. Kasi once you do that, once it's out there, then mahirap tanggalin sa net space, 'di ba? Sabi nga. Netiquette natin is to be on time. Yan yung mga practical ano natin. Then pag may na-schedule kayo, test your gadget. Nakita niyo naman nangyari sa akin, 'di ba? Ako na mismo. No, it happened to me even if I've been doing this several times, like hundreds of times na, it never failed me. Tapos kanina biglang for some reason, I don't know, wala namang bagyo, but you have to check your gadget. Another mga netiquette ko sa paggamit ng internet is, if you're going to use someone as a reference, please make sure that you quote them, or you have to do proper acknowledgement. Yan. Ito yung mga basics na naalala ko na ginagawa ko almost every day. Now, as an applicant naman, netiquette is on your end is also show proper ano rin, respect dun sa kausap mo. Hindi porkat online, parang nasanay tayo sa mga barkada natin minsan, di ba? Pag nagbibiro tayo, minsan the words that we use, minsan, even if it's not on in the internet, when someone calls you and you get a missed call, how do you respond? May iba kasi may maayos sasabihin nila, may I know who is this, please. Ayan, di ba? May ganon. Minsan nakaka-receive ako, as an HR, I will call an applicant, ang reply sa akin, who you? Yung ganon. These are little ways that reflects on your personality. And even if hindi ka naman sabi nga ni Sir Mark, birayin ko lang, tirador ng Pasay. Ganon. Hindi naman, pero parang nagiging ganon yung dating. Alam mo yun, parang medyo it says something about the person, di ba? If you're not comfortable naman to speak in the complete in straight English, then try pa rin, pero wag naman yung who you. 'Di ba yung tipong HU tapos space you. Talagang I mean, maybe try to compose it in a better way then. 'Yun. Ako I don't do shortcuts. It's one of the pet peeve ko yata 'yan. Ayoko nagso-shortcut, no, yung mga text. Kasi para sa akin, lalo na kung messenger yan, wala naman limit yung space eh. 'Di ba? Wala naman limit sa character. So ba't ka nagtitipid, 'di ba? 'Yun yung sa akin that's me. Pero kung text yan, syempre may 160 characters tayo. So medyo tipid-tipid din yung mga U. Sige na nga, wag na yung YOU, U na lang, 'di ba? Yung mga ganon. These are for me. Yan, practical application lang para sa akin. That's my netiquette.
Thank you very much, Sir Kim. Okay, we have a question to Sir Mark. What information do you look at first? Since we don't have work experience, does extracurricular activities really count?
Okay, yeah, sure. So since everyone here are newly graduates, right, which doesn't have any work experience, of course, all of the details that you place in your resumes, we check all of them. So of course, personal details, your educational or educational background, and then of course extracurricular activities or your OJT experience counts as well. So we do check those, and our or recruitment team or your interviewer will ask your experiences as well during your OJT days. So everything you place in your resume, ensure that that you are familiarized with all of those details, as this will be or can be included during your interview.
Thank you very much, Sir Mark. We have another question para kay Sir Chris. When is the right time to follow up our application? If I failed, do I have the chance to reapply? For example, nag-apply siya sa ARB.
Okay, this is a very common question po, and that our team is very exposed to now already. So to answer, the safest would be probably 2 to 3 days to follow up your application. And you also have to respect the time. There are some applicants kasi based on our experience that would call midnight, just to ask if, is there any update with our job application. And I believe it's already been explained na during the post interview discussion, but it's fine. It just shows that these candidates are very determined to work for a company, and we don't take it negatively. Okay, it's fine to follow up your recruiter every now and then for updates, but you also have to remember that the recruiters are not working 24/7. There might be some, but they also have lives. So try to always look at the time first to see if it's appropriate. And then here at ARB, we always open our doors for reapplication, because we provide venue for people to work and to flourish with their careers. So if you failed the first time, you can try again. If you failed the second time, you can try again. It's a cycle. There's no limit. But it would be funny if you have applied 10 times already but still didn't get the job, right? Reapplication would be 90 days just to be safe, 3 months. And I think this is a very long time not to work on yourself and to improve yourself, so that when you come back to reapply, you'll be 100% ready.
Thank you very much sa ating speakers. Due to the interest of time, we encourage students to send your questions to FinMed Career Linkages. We'll try to answer all your questions there. Kanina naman na-share yung fast facts, di ba? Merong fast facts si Sir Kim kanina about Jobs 180. Or you may review this webinar to get the information or to be refreshed again about the resume link. Salamat again, Jobs 180. Transcom and ARB call facilities. Before we end this session, I'd like to highlight what pages you must follow and like. So please make sure, students, that you like and follow yung FinMed Career Linkages natin for the national career updates and respective alumni pages of school. For UI, meron tayong official alumni page. Kung pwedeng i-highlight or i-share sa screen. Okay? Lahat ng schools meron tayong alumni pages. But for the main career page, you can see here the FinMed Education Career Linkages page. So please like and follow. And then, again for UI, meron tayong specific announcements with regard to our career activities. So kung hindi pa kayo member ng private page natin, SY Batch 22 Career Ignition, please do so. So you know the updates, ano yung mga schedules ninyo for the mock interview, for the employer session, and for the virtual career fair. Ang ibang schools meron ding mga schedules, no, in line with your internal schedules. So please check your alumni pages. Salamat ng marami. We'd like to thank again Jobs 180, Kim, Shari, Joyce, Transcom, and ARB for joining us today. Thank you very much for your time and for your amazing support to us, to our students, to FinMed Education Network. Thank you so much. This concludes our webinar part 2, eCareer Ignition. Thank you and keep safe, everyone.
The clinical trial market as we know it is about to change. We're revolutionizing the current state aligned to disparate, slow, and often manual processes. Optum's vision is to transform the drug development process to one that is centered and grounded in real-world patient behavior and physician practice. Optum's ability to access this unique network and fold in the strongest data and analytics expertise will enable us to jointly bring life-saving drugs to the patients who need it most. Join us in this partnership to bring our shared vision for real-time, real-world healthcare research for real patients.